There are other strategies than growth. In Denmark, we have two large companies, Mærsk and Novo. And Mærsk is almost double the size of Novo Nordisk. But if you look at market value, then Novo is 20 times more valuable than Mærsk. And the difference between the two is the resilience, the predictability of the revenue. For many companies, on January 1st, you essentially have to rebuild your company and then add another 10% if you want to create growth. But if you have fixed revenue that you're carrying over from the year before, you have predictable revenue, you're in a very different position. For a lot of companies during budget planning, what you're doing is actually you want growth so badly that you're predicting growth and you need it because the increase of cost. So sometimes the growth scenarios become more wishful thinking than reality. And the reason behind this is often that you don't want a wasted year where you don't increase the value of the company. But what I'm telling you is that instead of focusing on growth, maybe focus on creating resilience because that will increase the value of the company. Changing the composition of your revenue can actually help you on the short term to increase the value of the company. And that makes very good sense in the following 5 scenarios. Scenario 1 is that you are in a very unpredictable market with large fluctuations and you want to create stability so you can become more profitable. Then it makes sense to actually focusing on resilience and your relationship to your customers and making that predictable. Scenario 2 is actually where you are planning to sell the company. Because you can increase the value of the company quite quickly by changing the composition, it's also something you should do as preparation for a sale of a company. Scenario number 3, where it makes sense to actually focus on resilience, is if you're in a shrinking market. If you're in a market that is actually declining. So you won't be able to create growth unless you win large market shares. But instead, you can increase predictability and make sure you have a very stable and profitable business. And of course, also scenario number 4, if you're in a situation where you don't have the capital, you don't have the employees, you don't have the resources to grow, then instead of focusing on not being able to meet your top line growth, converge and change the composition of your revenue so that you become more resilient. And of course, the last scenario 5 is that if you want to be more like Novo Nordisk, you should actually from day one think about how can I build a business model where resilience is integrated in the way we do business right from the beginning. Good luck.